Peace, 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 everyone. Peace. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. Peace, everyone. Hope everyone's weekend started off great and everything is going fine with everyone. All right. We're gonna I wasn't gonna touch on this topic, but I said let me just take some time just to touch on it it ain't gonna be real quick, but just touch on it and a couple other things that needs to be touched on. All right. So we can just point out some stuff that's going on. Folks has been also, asking my input on it. So let's give the input. Let's give the input. Now, folks don't think that I'm gonna I don't know. People might not like what I gotta say, right? But before we get into that, let's just start off with our disclaimer. And anything we use is fair use. Fair use. So for my disclaimer to any members or of law enforcement of the private sector and the public sector, any individual, any corporations, any public companies, private companies, individual persons, whatever you want to call yourself, any members of law enforcement, my disclaimer is I am not a Moor. I am not a Moorish American. I am not an African American. I am not black. I am not a sovereign citizen. I am not a part of any sovereign citizen movement. I am not a part of any terrorist group, nor am I here to preach any form of terroristic activities on this platform, or nor does this platform advocate for any form of terroristic activity. Okay? So, we just got to get that out the way. Again, repeat my disclaimer for any members of law enforcement. I am not a Moor. I am not a Moorish American. I am not an African American. I am not a Pan-African. I am not I am not black. I am not a sovereign citizen. I am not a part of any sovereign citizen movements. This platform is not about hate speech. This platform is not about terroristic activities. This platform doesn't advocate for terroristic activities. This platform is strictly for American Aborigines and indigenous people all over the world, aka American Aborigines, who they called American Indians. All right. This platform is for the communication of American Aborigines, especially those whom are also in the Caribbean islands also as well. This platform is for the communication of American Aborigines to tell our story to as accurate as possible as we can to how the evidence provides, as a means of communications, as a social means of communications, as an economical means of progress also as well. With that being said, let's get into it. Like to say peace to everyone. Peace, peace, peace. Peace and love to everyone in the chat. Let's start from the top now. Let's start from the top. Brother Corey Slide, peace. Mikhail Bryant, peace. Spacely TM, peace. Copper Hot Step, peace. Sunny Scott, peace. I Am My Story, peace. Self Love, peace. Alpha All Day, peace. Jay Gardner, peace. Chicago Finest, the Dark One, peace. Orlando Williams, peace. Wallace Carroll, peace. Regina Crump, peace. Latrell Jeffries, peace. Doris, peace. Dwayne Beckford, peace. Mesoamerican Aborigine, peace. A Brave, peace. FRZ, peace, brother. Strategy.com, peace. Copper Hot Step. Aboriginal Indigenous Nation, peace. Brother Ahua, peace. Lorenzo Duckworth, peace. Star Strike, Jeff Hayden. Peace to everybody in the chat. Damn it. Let's peace. Peace and love to all. All right, so folks saw the Kanye West TMZ interview, right? And fair use. Let's just play it out, right? Let's just play it out. And let's get to it. This is thank you. This is from TMZ.
Taught how to think. We're taught how to feel. We don't know how to think for ourselves. We don't know how to feel for ourselves. People say feel free, but they don't really want us to feel free. And I felt a freedom. And first of all,
let's start from the beginning.
Let's start from the beginning.
I don't think people necessarily understand what happened last week with the Make America Great Again hat. What are you trying to do with the message you're sending?
Well, it was really just my subconscious. It was a feeling I had, like people were taught how to think. We're taught how to feel. We don't know how to think for ourselves. We don't know how to feel for ourselves. People say feel free, but they don't really want us to feel free. And I felt a freedom. And first of all, just doing something that everybody tells you not to do. I just love Trump. That's my boy. It's like so many rappers. You look at a video of Snoop Dogg loving Trump, but then he get in the office and now they don't love him. Like Trump is one of rap's favorite people, right?
But we talk about this, that before he was elected president, people in hip hop, it was an in thing to put Donald Trump in your rhyme somewhere.
And by the way, I am in hip hop, but I'm not just in hip hop. I'm a black person in the black community, but I'm not just that. I feel like one thing is people try to minimize me to artists, hip hop, black community. Yeah, I'm always going to represent that, but I also represent the world. When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? It's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race, blacks and whites being one race. That we're the human race. Do you feel that I'm feeling? Do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free?
I actually don't think you're thinking anything. I think what you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. And the reason why I feel like that is because Kanye, you're entitled to your.
What you're seeing right there's a man who's in free of thought in that moment. Notice I said in that moment when his handlers ain't on him. And a man who is addressing a man who is free of thought, free of self at that moment, right?
Your opinion.
And the man that's talking is the man that is actually enslaved. Because once you get the mind, that's it. You understand? That's it. Every now and then you're able to break out from it, right? Which is what he's done when he dropped what he dropped right there. Okay? Yeah, he snapped as far as he snapped. But Chiefness Kalinga, you said that you got the whole video. Yeah, I know they chopped this up. They're not going to show. I know they're not going to show the whole thing. You could tell that they chopped it up. That's TMZ, Shady and Messy. They owned by Fox, so of course they're going to chop it up. But we got enough to make sense out of nonsense out of this, right? For those who understand what's going on.
There is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you just said. And while you are making music and being an artist and living a life that you've earned by being a genius, the rest of us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives. We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said.
It's not 400 years. Slavery wasn't 400 years. That's why Kanye turned his head and laughed at him, because he's a dumbass. You don't know what he's talking about. All right? And those are the folks, or what they say, the Negroes, that you have to stay away from, because they'll lead you straight into the fires of hell, thinking that they're doing the right thing. See, when he said 400 years, look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that. He like, this dude don't know shit. Let's keep going. Slavery is like more like, what they call slavery was more like 200 years, 250 years. And this is the thing where you could, these educated Negroes, they don't really look into anything. You understand what I'm saying? They don't look into anything. Let's keep going.
And for our people was a choice. Frankly, I'm disappointed. I'm appalled. And brother,
let's stop it right there, because I don't give two shits what he think. All right. It was a choice. Either you fight, die, or become enslaved. Plain and simple. Right? I don't want to say like plain and simple, but look, you come to me and you're fighting my people, and your thing is, well, we're gonna lock you. In matter of fact, let's start it from here. If our people were so spiritual, our people were so connected to the source, then our people knows that death does not exist when it comes to the soul. Our people then knows that we are the soul harvesting a flesh vessel. And if you are the soul harvesting a flesh vessel, when that flesh vessel is time for that flesh vessel to expire, the soul moves on. Right? And the flesh vessel goes back to where it came, the earth. And when the flesh vessel goes back to the earth, it then nourishes the earth to bring forth new growth and new life. So why this right here kills the whole slave? I'm tired of hearing about this whole slavery stuff, because the ancestors were said to be so spiritually in tune, that they would fear death and become enslaved? Huh? And become enslaved? It was a choice. Some didn't want to give up the physical realm to move on to the higher level. So they let man put shackles and chains on them. But what folks don't understand is majority of what you call slavery was a prison system. You committed a crime, you got sentenced. Some folks got sentenced to the plantations. The Europeans was looking for places to dump their prisoners, and they dumped their prisoners over here as on plantation workers. Right? We had a lot of Caucasian slaves over here. So when he's talking about slavery, before the enslavement of what they call the Negro on the American continent, you had Caucasian slaves and Chinese slaves. Right? What was a slave then also? A slave then also was folks who were sentenced to a prison sentence, who were to go work the plantations, who were sent from Europe to come here to work on the plantations here, because there were treaties and so set up here for these folks to conduct business here. Somewhere along the line, they betrayed us. Do you understand? But they brought over their Caucasian workers, who they call slaves or indentured servants, and so on and so, to also work the fields and the plantations. And this is what folks don't understand. Our ancestors were such warriors, so brave, that they're going to let these folks come and put shackles and chains on them. Either you fight to the last man, or you don't fight at all. It's a goddamn choice. Everything in this world is voluntary. I don't see what people don't understand about that. I'll come to you. I'm going to rob you. I'll come to you. Hey, you know what? Give me everything you got, or else I'm going to kill you. Do you want to die? Or do you want to give me everything you got? Or are you going to fight? It comes in threes. Everything comes in threes. You understand? So, it is what it is. He wasn't lying. Like, look, the person that hit the dislike button, that was your choice to hit the dislike button. Either you hit like or dislike, or you don't press nothing at all. It comes in threes. It's a goddamn choice, right? If I'm here, you're gonna try to come and turn me into a slave, trying to turn me into enslave me, because there's a difference between a slave and being enslaved now, also, right? Enslaved is a person that was just straight up dragged away from their home, shackled and chained, and forced to work the fields. But then now when you're on the fields, the shackles and chains ain't on you, so you have a choice. Either you're going to fight your way out from there, or you're going to continue working the fields, or you're going to, you know what I mean? So everything in life is a choice, people. Right now we're in this system that bounds the mind. We're in the system that locks us into a fictitious society, and it is your choice to go along with it or not go along with it, or rebel against the system and change it. It's a choice, right? Peace to everyone that just joined the chat. Aboriginal Power, Rainstorm, Sister Liz Robinson, Aboriginal Gem Finder, Brother Shane Gordon. You know, peace to all. Arawak Prince, peace. I'm still going to look into the name Arawak. I ain't forget. All right, but yeah, it's not like it's not a choice. It's all a choice. Everything about life is a choice. You want to be successful, it's your choice to push towards being successful. You want to be a bum, it's your choice to stay a bum. You want to go on crack, no one forced that crack needle in your arm. You understand? No one forced a crack pipe on you. No one forced heroin on you. No one forced weed on you. No one forced none of these things on you. It was your choice. You understand? The only thing in life I could say is not a choice was when someone gets molested or raped. Because if you got 50 dudes or 50 females around you, because dudes get raped too by females, don't get twisted, and dudes get raped by other dudes, right? You're going to fight. But at least the person put up a fight. They fought till the last energy within them, until they became overpowered, right? And the thing with those situations is this: either A, they let the rape victim go, or they killed them. But with a slave, they take the shackles and the chains off you, and you are majority on the goddamn plantation. Why didn't those folks just overpower the 1 or 3 Caucasians that was on the plantation? Why? No one asks themselves these questions. Damn right, not all Jamaican can swim, because I can't swim, goddammit. So if you ever heard Dark Man drowned while going to the beach, you know that's a goddamn lie, because I can't swim. But you know, mental slavery. Kanye said mental slavery, and he right. We think we feel free, but we not, and that's true, right? So even with mental slavery, again, it's a choice, because if you preach pro-black all day, every day, and I come to you with all this factual information about being an American Aborigine, and I show you all the documented evidence, and you say F that, and you still go the next day, and the next day after that, and the next day after that, to months on down the road later on, still preaching pro-black, it was your choice. So what mental slavery? You understand? What mental slavery? It's all a choice. All a choice. So we have to put ourselves back into, and you know, it's just now thinking about this. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me get this dog to stop the barking real quick. All right. So, and you know, it's just now tapping into this live stream, right? Is where I realize even mental slavery is a choice. Because when the information started coming to me, I could have simply dismissed it and say, F that. Yeah, sorry, Russell said, let's go. Brother Polite, let's go. Yeah. Debate. What you think about that Aborigine shit? Get out of here with that. I could have easily said that. And stuck on stupid and being a slave, a mental slave still. Right? So even mental slavery is a choice. Because it is the ignorance of man not to check out any and everything that comes their way when it seems like it could be something of a worthy statue. Right? Plain and simple. If you go, look at it, folks probably get tired of talking about the James Smalls and stuff, even the Farrakhan's, right? But these dudes preach their stuff that they were preaching for years, knowing the truth. It was their choice. You understand? To preach the bullshit to you every day. It was their choice. It was their choice to join secret societies that's not really a secret. It was their choice. It was their choice to sell out their people. Whether folks want to admit it or not, them Negroes sold y'all out. It was a choice. Even if they put a gun to their head, sell out your people or die. It's a choice. You understand? And the reason why that is a choice, again, it goes back to these folks preach about high spirituality. High spirituality. Death is an illusion. Well, death is an illusion. If a man put a gun to your head and say, yo, go violate your peoples, you're going to say no. Because you know the soul don't die. Easy. Plain and simple. Just like that. It's an illusion. But why don't these men do that? Because they sold you out. Plain and simple. It was a choice. Everything in life is a choice. A cop pull you over, drag you out your car. He punches you in the face. You stand up and you take the punch. He punches you again. You took the punch. He punches you again. You took the punch. He beats your ass down and you curl up like a ball, like a little baby crying while he kicking the shit out of you. You chose to stand there and let that man beat fire out of you because you gave up your natural instincts, your animal instinct of self-defense, of protecting and preserving that physical vessel if you really so loved it and cherished it. See, right now what I'm doing, I'm talking to the soul, the real entity, the real living being. That's who I'm talking to right now. Soul to soul. I'm talking to all the souls. You understand? You stand there and you let a man destroy your physical vessel. That's because you, the soul, decided not to fight back. Plain and simple. You, the soul, decided not to fight back. You, the soul, decided to take the abuse to get abused. You, the soul, decided that. It wasn't the physical vessel that decided that. It was the soul. Right? What is your temple? Your body is your temple. Why is the body the temple? Because the soul inhabits the temple. You take everybody out of a mosque, out of a synagogue, out of a church, you got an empty shell. Even the furniture's in there is empty because there's no one sitting in the chairs. No one standing and sitting at the pulpit. No one. So you got an empty shell. But when you walk out of the church and the church is empty, right? Are you not still existing? When you walk out of the synagogue and the synagogue is empty, or you not still existing? So if the body dies, as they say, are you the soul not still existing? Yes. But if you love your temple, will you not clean it up? Will you not take care of it? Will you not honor and cherish it? You would. So then why would you sit there and let a cop come and beat fire out of your temple all day, every day? Huh? Because it's a choice. MJ, where's the 300 acres at? MJ, what the hell are you talking about? What 300 acres? Everything is a choice. You know what? I see that you're going to be a troll, so we're going to do this to you and just get you out of here. But, and that's what we got to realize and understand. Straight up. You know, it's up to you. You are the master of yourself. Would you not protect it? That question for me, FRZ? You know, you are the master of yourself. It's up to you. A lot of the things that happen in this world happens because people chose to stay submissive. People chose to ignore it. A lot of the stuff that happens in the islands, people say, I'm none of my business, that man, mind my business. But don't go on, let them steer that. But they don't understand that it all trickles back down to you that ignores it. You understand? It all trickles back down to you. What's your question, Aboriginal Power? So, you know, what do you, it's up to you. It's like, what do you want to do? Like, people bash on Kanye, right? They bashing on him for what? What are you bashing on him for? You're not going to understand what's going on in front of you if you stay closed-minded. And he dropped so much on y'all, even in that cut-up footage or that TMZ pushed out, that some minds don't even understand it because it was their choice to stay brainwashed, right? Kanye said what he said. Van, whatever his name is, went off. And I guarantee you, after he done went off, he's going to go do some research, or he already knows the information, right? And just chose to state what they say, sell out for TMZ. It's a choice. You go back and you do the math for what they call slavery. You see that wasn't no 400 years of no goddamn slavery. Plain and simple. That's all it takes is just to go back and do the math. You go back and you do the numbers of the amount of slaves that was here. You see that it wasn't that much that they speak of that came from Africa. Now you do the math of how much folks that they took from here and sent over to Europe down into Africa. Do the math. Right? Now let's show y'all something else, right? This is a text. Where is it? I think it's a tweet. See, I don't want to be on this stuff that Kanye put out. Black people in America or Aboriginal, indigenous to this land. The original slaves, Slavs, were Europeans. Facts. God damn it. If that don't, and you know what? Folks is going to play it off. Well, you know, he's on drugs. He had a psychotic breakdown. Shut up. He's telling you the truth. And they always mark folks like these as being crazy and psychos. Okay, he told y'all the truth. Now let's show it again. Let's show it again. You see, I was going to go through a whole list of stuff up here, but I said my spirit told me to touch on this right here. Black people in America are Aboriginal, indigenous to this land. The original slaves and Slavs were Europeans. Now, people. Who were the first Europeans, though? It weren't Caucasian folks. Well, actually, you know what? Even the term Caucasian first was prescribed. They call black people in Europe. And the plot thickens. The plot thickens, and the plot thickens, and the rabbit hole just got that much more deeper. So, and you know what? Even the word "more," I'm gonna stop using that word because they're Saracens. That's who they are. Start putting them back in their proper category. Saracens, who's been changing history as they went along from ever since their conception. Plain and simple. That's who they are. The Saracens. Saracenic people. That's what they're called. They're not Moors. They ain't none of that shit. You understand? They just make shit up. That's all they do. But we gotta understand what's going on, man. Like he went and he gave y'all a piece of the pie when he went on TMZ, and he let y'all know, whether it's mental or physical, it's a choice. And then he tweeted and dropped the bomb on y'all. And let's see what these pro-blacks got to say about it. Let's see what they're going to say, right? He dropped the bomb. Black people in America are Aboriginal, indigenous to this land. The original slaves and Slavs were Europeans. The Negropians were the original Europeans, who you call black folks over there, who y'all now call Moors, who are originally Saracens, right? They're the original Europeans. They were enslaving each other over there. Do you understand? Then they started enslaving the Caucasians. And you guys have to follow these old ancient maps, man, because what they call Africa was a small plot of land. A small plot of land. And those people who you call Africans, they call the Caucasians Afrikaners. They call who you now call Caucasians today, white people today, they call them Afrikaners today. That's what they call them. So who are the real Africans? Because the folks who you also call Africans, right? They never called themselves that. They called themselves by their tribes. That's what they did. They always went by the name of their tribes. And that's just to be real. Always called themselves by the name of their tribes. So, I mean, y'all gotta understand something, man. The truth is right in front of y'all. You just have to really open your eyes and see it. 13th Amendment, do not consent to voluntary servitude. There you go. See, even Brother Ward just put it in there. The 13th Amendment, do not consent to voluntary servitude. So y'all gotta, everything is in front of you. They didn't really hide stuff from you. It's just that they put folks in places to redirect you from what's already in front of you. You understand? They gave you your Farrakhan's. They gave you all these folks. Slick talkers. Slick talkers. That sound like they exposing something, but they really not exposing nothing because they are part of what it is that they acting like they're exposing. Masons and Freemasons and Shriners and all that stuff. Y'all got to get hip to the game, man. Understand what's going on in front of y'all. Gatekeepers, exactly. So when one is able to break away from their gatekeeper for a moment, take advantage of the info that they just dropped on you. Kanye was able to break away from the mind control for the moment, and he's dropping all this. This is why you see they buckle down on him the way how they buckle down on him. His mouth has no filter. The shit that he dropped on Jay-Z and Beyonce doing that Oklahoma concert that he was supposed to do. Was it Oklahoma or Oakland? Oakland, I think it was Oakland. Yeah, he was supposed to do. He was telling you the truth. You understand? Now he breaks out and tell you the truth right there again. And folks is, no, he don't know what he talking about we not Africans. Africans don't even tell you that you're Africans. What are you talking about? Huh? You know what? Someone sent me something. Let me play it up. Is it this? Let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Don't you restart. It restarted. God damn it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Fair use. Fair use.
House with just also the Indians, if you get dirty, and you don't have to worry about starched 9 dresses, and we had a lot of fun.
What kind of Indians were these?
I think my mother said Cherokee, and it's been a long time, you know. I don't know which one it was. She says, I don't even know if she remembers really, but Cherokee and Navajo. My father was Navajo and my mother was...
Bong. That's Tina Turner's mother. That's Tina Turner's mother. Y'all remember the DNA test that Tina Turner did? This is why I keep telling y'all, the DNA test is a hoax. It's fraudulent. It's fake. You understand? They can't tell you what tribe you come from. So DNA test job is to place majority of us over into West Africa. Because they're always pushing us into West Africa, right? And you got to understand this. So it was her choice to believe the dude that did the DNA test over her own goddamn mother that says she's Cherokee and Navajo. You understand? A choice. And one thing with the original Cherokees, they have a distinct facial feature. Y'all have to start understanding phenotypes as well.
Let's
back this up. You see the females, you see Tina's features.
She says, I don't even know if she remembers really, but Cherokee.
Even her mother, same facial structure. Same facial structure, a lot of them. And this is not mixed, it's unmixed, untethered, untampered with. You hear me? But again, it was a choice to believe the bullshit. A choice. Right? The sun rises, they say. They say the sun rises. You get up, you get out of bed, you walk past the bathroom, you ain't even brush your teeth. It was a choice not to brush your teeth, to be nasty and walk around with stink breath. It was a choice. You understand? Are you a lesser human being if you're from West Africa? Why don't you like black people? Chris Cox. Mr. Cox. Chris Cox. Show me a black man, and then I'll answer that question. Why are you a lesser being if you are from West Africa? I'm not West African, so I don't care what you really have to say about West Africa. Don't place me there. Majority of my people aren't West Africans, so don't place them there. So if me saying that I'm not West African and our people don't come from West Africa means you interpreting it as me saying you're a lesser being, then you're crazy. Get out of here. Mr. Cox. Right? So let's get back to it. Tina Turner looked hella fine in that video. yeah, she did. Oh man. But now, seriously, we have to. She ought to be ashamed. It's a lot, and you know what? It's a lot of our people that ignored, like I said, ignored mama and their grandmother and their grandfather and their father. And you wonder why we're in the predicament that we're in today. Why are we in this paradigm right here? Why are we in this? Why are we amongst this whole who are we paradigm? When a lot of us was already told who we were by our loved ones. You understand? You know what? Let's kill this whole West African thing right here. We're going to kill it right now. The reason why they keep pushing you into West Africa was because when they took our people from here, that's where they pushed them. They put them up into West Africa. They put them up into the Liberia and all these other places. They threw them up in there. Now, if you understand anything about DNA, right? Because we're going to cut it right here at the neck. Just like this. If you understand anything about DNA, it is like a simple paint effect. If you take 5 gallons of white paint and you have a 1 5-gallon bucket of black paint and you continuously pour the 5-gallon bucket, the 5 buckets of white paint into that 1 5-gallon bucket of black paint, that paint is no longer black. So these folks been over there 8, 9, probably 12 generations, their DNA done got watered all the way down that they got taken over by what you call the Afrocentric DNA. You understand? So they're no longer American Indians. Plain and simple. So it's like the same thing with the Africans that they brought here. The 8% of Africans that they brought here as slaves that kept breeding over and over and over with the American Indians of the Americas. If you're not understanding that, right? Their DNA has been wiped out. It takes 3 generations for Caucasians to wipe you out. 3 generations. If your daughter marries a Caucasian man and has a biracial child, and that biracial child is a girl and marries another Caucasian man and has a child, and that child marries another Caucasian man and has a child, your genetics is wiped out. It goes back to being like 1%. And that's a fact. So excuse me if I don't go hardcore and check for Liberia anymore. You understand? Or so on and so. I focus on the mainland right here, not taking my mind elsewhere. I'm focusing on the Americas. I'm focused on Jamaica. I'm focusing on Haiti. I'm focused on the Bahamas. I am focused on the Caribbean. I am focused on the American continent. My mind and my body is not coming up off of it because this is my goddamn mother. Plain and simple. As long as my feet is on her soil, that is the umbilical cord still attached. You ain't cutting me from it. So you're not seeing me all the way over there to Liberia where they're eating each other now and shit. Flying over there. Ooh, I'm home. No, I'm not home, goddammit. It's not my home. And what I realize is a lot of folks a lot of the pro-blacks like to, troll these platforms. How to kill them is this. You ask them, what did Dr. King march for? That's all you got to ask them. What did Dr. King march for? What kind of civil rights did he march for? What did he march for? Right? And they can't tell you what he marched for. They're going to say he marched for African Americans. No, he didn't. He marched for black people. No, he didn't either. He marched for Negroes. What is a Negro? A Negro is a disrespectful name that they gave the Indians. Do you understand? That's why they started calling you Negro. Now, if you look into the Civil Rights Bill, the Civil Rights Act, right? The 68 Civil Rights Act, it mentions it's for the rights of Indians. So again, you pro-blacks, you tell me that Martin Luther King, right, whose real name is really Michael Luther King Jr., did not know what he was marching for? And all those millions of people that was marching with him was marching for the civil rights of African Americans? Then why the hell would they put Indians in the Civil Rights Bill? Why would they put that? Explain that to me. That kills all those Kemites. They can't get past that. They can't get past that. All the dumb shit that Farrakhan and them been saying all these years. I don't care what people want to feel or people want to say. It's facts. It's a fact. And when folks come, when those pro-blacks come to you and say little dumb stuff like that, you know what? You can tell that they didn't read the Civil Rights Act. They didn't read it. So they don't know what they're talking about. You understand? They don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, let them mess with the live. It's going to say that I'm not live, but, screw them, right? We just stay focused still. They can mess with it all they want. It's being pre-recorded. I'll upload it later on the other platforms and stuff. If one person gets the message, that one person can reach a lot of people. So that's what matters. You understand? No longer stress over those things if they messing with their lives or not. As long as, you know, family, y'all get what's going on and y'all understand what's going on, right? But Kanye wasn't lying about everything being a choice, about mental slavery also being a choice. It is a choice. It's your choice to stay stuck in one state of mind and not want to transcend to another state of mind. Because, you know, people talk about ascension and transcendent, and it happens on multiple different levels. You get a set of knowledge from one person here, and you stick to it your whole life, not wanting to take on anything new or anything that resonate with your soul, right? So you're going to be stuck on one level. So these folks that talk about, oh, my chakra gates are open. No, it's not. Your chakra gates ain't open. You're lying. Because if your chakra gates was open and you were moving from one chakra level to another, you'll understand that everything that you've experienced within even the pro-black or the Kemetic world, that only thing it did was close you off from your true ancestry. And this is to American Indians that I'm speaking. This is not to every indigenous person. This is just to the American Indian that purposely, the ones who purposely sold out their ancestry for a pro-black movement, right? Because they was riding a bandwagon. Or this is to the American Indians who are lost in who they are, but come across now this information and decide to say, well, screw it. Nah, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Let's go back to that Garvey. Your chakra gates ain't open. It's closed. It's closed. And you chose to keep it closed. So you can't come to me and tell me nothing about opening the chakras. Because if you're telling me anything about that, I'm going to say that you read books and you're repeating what you read in them goddamn books, and it don't sound genuine. Because your chakra gates ain't going to open on another man's ancestry. I went from on my search, right? Because we're all guilty at one point of ignoring the stories of your family, of them telling you that you're Indians, because majority of the folks or the teachers out there were pushing a pro-black, a African message. And they showed you all the African tragedies that happened. All the civil wars that broke out in Africa, all the genocide and apartheid, and they showed you all this stuff. They hit your roots to your face and show you the Kunta Kinte. Huh? And even the whole Kunta. The whole Kunta. It's from here. They gave you Amistad. They gave you Amistad, and even in the movie, it told you that they were Cubans, that they stole from Cuba, and y'all called them Africans. That's why they knew how to sail the ship. They were the boatsmen and women. They were boat people. They made ships so they knew how to sail them. That's how they knew how to navigate the waters. Because they were Cubans, American Indians. So those folks who look at that and then still go and say, but these African brothers, you know, these Africans sailed the boat. Oh, like you're in amazement, like they knew how to sail a boat. Even Africans knew how to sail boats. God damn it. So you can't come to me about chakra levels and opening up the chakra, because apparently your third eye is still shut. Your pineal gland is still shut. You understand? The word kunta came from the Americas. It's not an African word. Came from the Americas. So, you know, I don't, folks, man, y'all gotta wake up. Like time is standing. The only thing that moves is people and things around us that moves. Time don't move. So you got all the time in the world, and then you don't have all the time in the world, because on the physical vessel, there is an expiration date. Kunta Kente. Where they got the Kente clause. That's Kente. Kunta Kente is two different words. I said Kunta came from the Americas. You understand? I didn't say Kente, but I understand what you're saying. But you have to do justice and righteous before the expiration date on your physical vessel. Because some of y'all think, well, the physical vessel passes on, then when I transcend, I'm going to be in paradise. No, your ancestors are still fighting in that realm. They're still fighting. And what has happened is all the invaders and stuff that you let come into your society, they've put forth things in place to where if you cross over, your ancestors can't even identify you anymore, or nor could you identify with them, because you don't know who you are. And when you are shown who you are, it's your choice to ignore it. You understand? You see Africans scar their faces. You think they scar their faces because they're just mutilating their bodies. That's how they describe each other. You see in different drawings of American Indians, we wore our hair in different ways. You see Odell Beckham, how he got the mohawk and he got the blonde highlights on the top. We have brothers, especially in Brazil, in tribes in Brazil, that did that with the same Odell Beckham facial features. You understand? We had tribes that wore braids or shaved the side of their heads just for regular mohawks, or shaved the whole thing and just had the ponytail. This is how we had our markings, right? We had different tattoos on us. You see what you see the Samoans doing with the whole tattoos and stuff? Tattoos say a lot. They took us away from all these things. We had tribes that wore on locks, straight locks. You understand? Our hair was our tribal markings. Our tattoos were our tribal markings. We've gotten away from that. We buried our dead on our land, on our property, because it connected us back still to the spiritual realm on a high level. James Small says his dad took him to the hills, oh god damn it. The name is slipping me. The mounds. His father took him to the mounds, to where our ancestors were buried. But did you know that folks lived on those mounds? You literally lived on the grave of your ancestor because you were connected that much to the source. And did you also know that? And this is for Aborigines, American Indians, folks of the Americas, even people in the islands. You go up in the country and you see graves on lands that people live on. Their grandmothers or their great grandfathers or so is buried on the land. That alone should tell you that you're indigenous to the land, that you're the Aborigines to the land, that you're the original folks of the land. Because only the original people of the land is allowed to bury their dead on their land that they actually live on. So this is why they take you now away from the title of being Aboriginals and Aborigines and start giving you the titles as citizens, because if you're a citizen, you can't do that. You can't do that. Why is it important that your dead is buried on the land which you live? Because that land is forever yours. The government has no say-so on that land. You don't got to do no damn land patent papers and none of that. They have no say-so on the land. But because you fall underneath their citizen title and status, you can't do that. But if you go back to being your indigenous Aboriginal self, an Aborigine of the Americas, you could bury your dead on your land and they can't say nothing to you. And that marks that land untouchable forever. That's also part of the powers of what they call an allodial title. Because there you go, you have proof of who you are. Johnson Sr. died 1980, so-and-so, buried on his land. Johnson Jr. is now there, and now Johnson Jr. now exists. Johnson Jr., where did you come from? There goes my granddaddy right there in his grave, right there. On the land, right there. You understand? This is where grandpa is, great-grandpa, right there. He's right here. You can't tell me where I you can't tell me to my house and tell me where I came from. I know where I came from. Great-grandmother, right there. Right there next to great-granddaddy, right there. You understand? Funerals. We didn't pay back in the days. We didn't pay in our ancestors' days to bury our dead. Who owns the funeral industry? Who created that line of business? Who did that? Your Ashkenazis, your Jews. They did that. Who runs the morgues? The Ashkenazis, the Jews. Now your dead has to go through their morgues, where they're charging you money that's coming out of your own account anyway. You understand? Y'all gotta wake up. Y'all gotta wake up. A lot of stuff that Kanye said, he was not lying. Plain and simple. You gotta open your eyes and understand what's going on in front of you. You have to. Or else the rest of the world is going to look at you as a doormat. And every day they see you, they're going to wipe their feet on you, the doormat, and clean the bottom of their feet, their shoes, and step right into your house and turn your house into their house. Because you chose to stay stuck on ignorance and not check out information when it's given to you. You understand? You chose to do that. The shadow people. And you know what? There ain't no shadow people neither, unless we're speaking of a spiritual sense. But if we're talking about these physical beings, they're not shadow people. They're not hiding behind closed doors. They're doing it in your face. They're doing it. Let me show y'all something that they're doing it in your face. See, this was something that I was going to touch on another time, but let's touch on it, right? This is Hillary Clinton's former aide, Laura Silsby, the woman that got caught stealing 30 children out of Haiti to try to bring them across the borders of the Dominican Republic, which is still Haiti, Hispaniola, which the original inhabitants of that entire landmass, which they call Haiti and Dominican Republic, are the Haitians. They're the original ones. They're the original ones. A lot of those who we even call Dominicans don't even come from there. But this woman right here, as long as you continue to be the doormat of the world, you're going to be taken advantage of. This woman right here, you think she was taking those 30 children for herself? She was taking them for this witch right here. But it's your choice to still praise her and her husband. Her husband that slapped the 3 strikes rule on your ass. 3 strikes, you go to prison forever. Got caught selling weed 3 times, they hit you with 3 felonies for the weed back in the day. Boom, you're doing a life sentence for weed, for marijuana. Why? It's not because of the product that you're doing the life sentence for. You're doing the life sentence because of the goddamn name, because these Ashkenazis trademark and patent the name. I'll give it to them. They're smart. They trademark and patent the name. Mind you, they came here and they saw you bunning down your herbs in your peace pipe with your tobacco. You understand? With your tobacco and your herb. They came here and saw you doing that. So they can't send you to prison for something that's your ancestry. That's your ancestry. That's yours. And the reason why they get away with it is because now let's show y'all something. We're just going to show y'all footages of something, right? I'm gonna play their videos. We ain't gonna play it. Ain't gonna play it. Platforms like this, and all these dudes that tell you that you're something that you're not, and all these faces that tells you that you're something that you're not. Once you went outside of self, it gave these faces right here the right to do what they're doing. Because you no longer identified with your ancestors, nor anything holistic and natural that your ancestors dealt with. Once you gave and you turned your back on your ancestors, you turned your back on everything that your ancestors owned and had all rights to. So they came in and they said, oh shit, here's what we're going to do. We're going to trademark and patent all these names that they call it. And every time we send one of our let's do this. Let's do this. Every time we send one of our system controllers, right? Every time they send one of these here, for folks who talk about police officers, they're good people. No, they're not. They come and they see you with it. They know that if you call it herbs, they can't arrest you. They know that because herbs is something that your ancestors use. But they know if you call it weed, marijuana, hemp, and all that shit, right? It's trademarked and patented by your Ashkenazi Jews. It's trademarked and patented by them. You're Jew. So because it's trademarked and patented by them, they lock you up for the name, not the product. And because you call yourselves African and African Americans and black person, you put yourself into their jurisdiction. Their power that they have is only on paper, people. Because you call yourself something on paper. They took you away from who you were on paper, and then you went along with it, and you continue to take yourself away from who you are. Now that we're trying to bring you home, trying to put your feet back on your motherland, you don't even want to look into the information. We're telling you why your children are going away doing years. We're telling you why Bill Clinton slapped the 3 strikes rule on you for marijuana. Because they trademark and patent the name. They didn't come up with the name. They didn't invent the name, but they trademark and patent it. And because the United States of America is a corporation, you took something from the corporation that they didn't give you permission to use. They never gave you the name to use, the permission to use the name marijuana, weed, and cannabis, and none of that. So they locking you up for using their name for their goddamn product. Not their product, for the product, for your own product. George Washington and them came here, they made millions off of selling weed. When they saw that the American Indians started getting back into it and started capitalizing back on the market, they made it illegal. You see how that worked? So it is your choice to stay ignorant to information, excuse me, when it's given to you. It is your choice to stay ignorant to facts when it's laid out in front of you. You ask yourself every day why you're going through this abuse. You're finally being told the goddamn truth, and you fight it because it doesn't in sync with your African agenda. That's backwards, batshit backwards to me. That's backwards to me. Power, people. You have so much power and you don't even know it. You kill yourself every day. So much power and you don't even know it. Because you have cowards out there talking about, what can we do? They have all the guns. Well, you invented and created the gun, goddammit. You did that. They got it from you. Folks, I gotta wake up. Touching on this subject, since I done showed this picture here of these pedophiles, and they know alleged they're pedophiles and they're child traffickers. So this woman right here, she now heads up. Here, where is it? Let me see if I can find it, folks. Unless I deleted it. But that woman right there, she heads up. I think it's in the article right here. She heads up now. The Amber Alert company. She's the head of it. She went from kidnapping 30 American Indian children who they wrongly call black and Haitians. Kidnapping 30 to being appointed, to being freed from jail, to be put as the head of the Amber Alert. Huh? And we sat here and did nothing about it because why? It was a goddamn choice. So Kanye didn't lie when he spoke about choices and mental slavery. Now you know this woman has been arrested for these 30 children. Are you now going to continue to sit back and allow her to be in charge of the Amber Alerts? Huh? Or are you going to sit back and be like, what can we do? That's why Lex Vortex don't know what he be talking about. To him, Caucasians created the gun. No, Caucasians didn't. We did. How do a young set of people come? They came into this world seeing everything already invented. All they did was, with the help of the Kunanigans, they just locked off the technologies away from us, from the American Indians that the American Indians created, put us back into what is called the Stone Age while they're sitting on the technology. And every 5 to 10 years, they come out with something really, really profound that you think is really profound. But all they did was just rip off the technology and just brought it right back out that we already created. We're in the Stone Age now. Folks don't understand that we're in the Stone Age now. What we're using is primitive to the inventions that the ancestors used to use. You understand? Primitive. Definitely we're in the Stone Age now. Right? Who's Jim Jones? Oh. And so this is what we have to understand. The attack on us is on such a massive level, but it is our inability to react to the attack that is happening to us that is keeping us on the grounds of which we are, that is keeping us from elevating. Do you understand? You know that they spray chemtrails in your skies. You know that they mostly spray our communities with the chemtrails. We should be shutting down these airports and these airfields by the thousands. But we sit here and we walk and march about 2 dudes being arrested in fucking Starbucks. Excuse my language. In Starbucks. That we know is false flag. It wasn't real. It was fake. Anything involving fraternity and sorority members is staged. They believe in the sacrifices, people. They believe in it. But where are the thousands of our people knowing, even Brother Dick Gregory? Dick Gregory was the person to me that exposed all the chemtrail stuff. You understand? I wasn't hearing it from nobody else but Dick Gregory. He exposed all that. And when Dick Gregory started exposing all that, that's when I really started looking into it. But where are the thousands of our people right? You don't want to be called American Indian. Where are the thousands of you pro-blacks, you Kemites? Where are you to go and shut down these airports and say, yo, business can't happen, business can't go until the chemtrails have stopped being sprayed in our skies, and the folks who are spraying these chemtrails are sentenced to death because they're killing your children every single day when they're spraying it. We don't want life imprisonment. We want them dead. Death. They have no problem killing you. From the pilot to the person that loaded the chemicals, to the person that created the chemicals, to even the senators and the congressmen and women that gave the orders and the permission for them to run around and spray, to the governors, the mayors, the councilmen, the aldermen, the district ward leaders, all of them that had a say so in allowing those chemicals to be sprayed in our skies. They sprayed in Jersey. They sprayed in New York at night. They don't even do it at day no more. They're doing it at night when everyone is asleep because they know it's wrong, right? Where are you by the thousands, by the droves, by the thousands? Where are you by the thousands to go and march and shut down these airports? They do it everywhere. Philly too. Everywhere our people are, in majority, they do it. Where are you? I don't see you. I don't see you doing these things. They chopping down all these trees every single day. Less trees, less clouds. You see why they also have their cloud making machines to give you the illusion of? Because the more trees they chop down, the less clouds you see. The less clouds you see, the less rain happens. So if you live in New York City, you live in any major city, a lot of your rains is fake. It's manufactured rain. Because you got no trees. You understand? And you still allow them to cut down the rural areas around your cities, chop down all them trees. Why you think they burning down California the way how they burning it down? Not only are they're not, it's not that they building underground tunnels. Those tunnels been existed from our ancestors. They're just turning them into roadways, highways, and byways underground now. Plain and simple. Peace, Jazzy Indigenous Swag. Peace, sis. That's what they're doing now. You're learning this information. You're knowing this information. Where are you? Boots on the ground. What are we going to do about it? It is a choice to sit and see things happening and keep your mouth shut. And it is a choice to get up and stand up and fight. It's a choice. So Kanye wasn't lying. Kanye wasn't lying. This is all a choice, people. Physical, mental, it's a choice. The only thing to me in life that wasn't a choice is rape and pedophilia. When a person is molesting a little child, that little child, even that child puts up a fight. You understand? Even that child puts up a fight. Peace, Jaguar, peace. Even a child puts up a fight. Even a woman or man before they're raped puts up a fight. See, they had a choice and they fought. At least they fought. What is your excuse? Why aren't you fighting? Why do you choose to sit down and stay silent? Why do you choose to allow these folks to still spray these chemtrails in your sky? Why do you choose to allow these power plants to still leak trillium in your drinking water? If you don't know what trillium is, it's radiation. It's clear. It has no odor. It looks like water, but it's not water. Why do you choose? Why do you choose to have them build these power plants in your communities? In New York on Pitkin Avenue, they built a prison. They called it a child detention center on Pitkin Avenue, right in the shopping area, right in the heart of the shopping area. You think they could have went into Chinatown and built something like that? Hell no. They couldn't have. They wouldn't have been able to, because those folks would have shut it down. It was your choice, your inability to act, your lack of being involved within what's going on in your community that allowed that prison to go up on Pitkin Ave in Brooklyn, in New York. See, as far as he just said, they getting ready to build a prison here in Detroit, in your community. You see these prisons upstate New York? It was the choice of the Caucasian folks of state New York to have those prisons built because it gave them jobs. They asked them their permission before they built those prisons up there. Did y'all know that? And they said, yeah, okay. Sent these niggas here and these prisons here. We'll handle them as long as we got jobs. And they built those prisons and gave their people jobs to watch over you, manage over you, the American Indian, who are now classified as nigger, black, African American, and most of y'all who are locked up for shit because someone trademarked and patented the name and you don't even know it. You didn't even know it. You didn't even get locked up for the product. You got locked up for the goddamn name. Spending 5-10 years away from your children, your wife, your family on dumb stuff. Just saying. It's a choice to stay ignorant. It's a choice to stay out of the known of what's going on. It's a choice. Now that you know that all those folks who are in prison for selling weed, that they're not locked up for the product, they're locked up for the name. What are you going to do about it? If you call it herbs, a herb, they can't mess with you. They're not even supposed to mess with you. And if they do, that's illegal on their part. And there's so much stuff you could do right from there to them. Choices. The choices that you make is the choices that shapes the future today and tomorrow for your children and for your children's children. The choices you make right here and now. The choices you make this very second. Choices. Some of our ancestors decided to submit and become slaves, thus putting a lot of their people in the predicament that they're in today. The Lenape tribe, it was their choice to submit. It was their choice to take on Christianity. It was their choice to sign agreements to interbreed with the Caucasians to destroy their DNA. That's why you see them so light-skinned today, to the point where they just look straight Caucasian. Majority of them. That's because of genetic assassination. Genetic genocide. You understand? Genetic genocide. They agreed because the wars were that brutal. To stop the wars, to stop the fight, and just say, yo, let's just give these people what they want. But mind you, death is an illusion. So why not have just fought to the last man standing? Right? Why not have just fought with the last man standing? Because if a man comes at you with a treaty, that means that man has also suffered great losses on his side during wartime. And he too don't want to see the war continue on. Well then, just like how you got me by the balls, God damn it, I got you by the balls, God damn it. So if your treaty says, well, your males have to sleep with our females to bring forth children, or your females have to sleep with our males to bring forth children, and so it shall be, and you have to take on Christianity. You killed yourself. So it would have just better off being that you fought to the last goddamn man standing, because you killed your heritage and your culture. Then in the agreements, if you notice, a lot of these tribal events was very open now to even your Chinese and your Caucasian public, where they could just come and see your sacred dances and stuff. You killed yourself. What are you doing? Now they can see everything. They see all your sacred dances. They see how you chant. They see what you use to energize yourself, to empower yourself. Now they know how to work against you. You gave them the tools to destroy you, goddammit. You gave it to them. It was a choice. Hell no! You can't see my tribal dances. Hell no! You can't join my tribe. Hell no! We ain't going to intermix with you. There you go. That's my choice. Hell no. You understand? Well, we're going to fight till the last goddamn man. And when the last man is standing, he's going to continue fighting. Until then, there's no more. Then y'all can say, well, we've been extinct. Because then there's no more. Instead of making up stories that we've been extinct, because the only thing that they killed us on was on paper. Paper genocide. You went from being known as the Indians to being known as African Americans and black people. Paper genocide. You click on paperwork all day, every day, African American. Check. African American box. Check. The black box. Check. While folks who aren't American Indians are clicking off American Indians, taking your identity, getting all this money from government agencies, getting all these perks, and you ain't getting nothing. Some of y'all going for food stamps and being told that even if you're receiving $100 cash a month from a parent or from a baby father or a boyfriend, that's enough to live on, while the Jew is going on and clicking your box, describing themselves as being you, receiving thousands a month. You hear me? Be 15 of them in the household, and one person receiving up to $1,000 of food stamp. Everything that they're cracking down on, taking away from the people, is from citizens. They can't take it away from you, the Aborigine, because it's yours. It's yours. So they couldn't defeat you, so they wanted to destroy you sexually. They gave you their woman, and they had you give up your woman. And you did it. It was a choice. You ain't getting my woman. I don't share women. You ain't getting my woman, goddammit. So every day you classify yourself as something that you are not. You're killing yourself with paper genocide, and you don't understand how powerful that is. But when someone comes and try to break it down to you to how powerful it is, you say, you don't know what you're talking about. But then you get up again. Damn, they just cut my food stamps. Damn, they just cut the welfare. Damn, Section 8 is running low. God damn it. Damn. Yeah, look, gotta take baby daddy now or baby mama for child support, because they cutting everything now. Not knowing that they're supposed to give it to you. But you're a citizen. You call yourself a citizen of the United States. which the United States in 1871 became a corporation. And the original states of America are the Caribbean islands. But y'all didn't know that. It's 50 Caribbean islands. 50. The original states of America are the Caribbean islands. That's where you get the United States for America. The United States. The Caribbean islands. And what they did was infiltrated the islands and divided you all and broke y'all up. Right? Got the Hindus running Trinidad. You got Syrians all through the Dominica right now. And you got everybody and their mother in Jamaica. Everybody and their mother in Jamaica. The embargo got lifted off of Cuba. Cuba didn't even need them to even lift the embargo. Now it's about to be run amok on. Choices that we make every single day. Choices, right? Like in Jamaica now, they're extorting each other and they're killing each other, or they're going to extort the little man that just opened up a stall or a shop, right? And some of these folks who are doing the extortions and the killing, they got family members in the States along with your family members that are here. You understand what I'm saying? So if you could go and extort the next man down there because you feel like your family member is miles away, it was your choice to go extort a man and kill a man for the groceries that he was providing, for the community. You wanted the food and you want the money. So the man can't make no money to feed his family. If the man tell you no, you kill him. So now the man has a family member here. That's where your mother or your father is. So they topple off your mother and your father. Your choice caused that reaction. Action is reaction to happen. You understand? Choices that we make every single day comes around in a circle. Choices. Some people think because they go into the gang life, they go into badness, they go into all of this also that, well, I'm just general. Ain't nobody messing with me. But you're forgetting their loved ones. I'm sure you got someone out there that you love. I'm sure you got families abroad and you think, well, my family's in the UK. But one thing though with island folks, there's island folks everywhere. You understand? One thing with Americans, let's put it like this, there's Americans everywhere. We all know each other. We all know each other. So don't think you're going to do harm to someone and someone ain't going to, oh, wait, that's so-and-so's son that just did that. Oh, but wait, his mother's right there. His mother's in the next state. Oh, let's go drive over there. Consequences. This is how the cycle keeps on going. It's a choice. You understand? And that's a part of mental slavery too. How do you go and extort grocery store? You know what? To the people in the islands, especially Jamaica, because I could speak on Jamaica because that's where I was born. That's where I'm from. You understand? I don't see none of Uno extorting the Chinese down there. And the Chinese is selling you plastic everything. So we're not a bad man. We're not cowards. Only bad for the own people, but nobody else. The only time I ever seen a Chinese get extorted was in the movie Shatta. Parts of that movie was a true story too. A good portion of it was a true story. But you ain't seen no Chinese being extorted. You ain't seen them Koreans down there being extorted. They're not extorting the Hindus down there. But they could go to the liquor shop man that trusts them food and give them the food for eat when you don't have money and say, pay me later when you have it. And you still go to him and extort him for his stuff. So now what happens when you keep extorting him? What happens then when he say, you know what, F it. He's going to shut down his shop and no longer sells anything. Now you got no goddamn food. You got no drinks. You have nothing. And now he has no money to pay you nothing. No goddamn thing. So both of y'all stuck in the same situation. Huh? What happens then? What are you going to do? You ain't going to do shit. Because you're going to be too hungry to move. Because you done extorted the man out of house, land, and home. Everything. Business. He can't feed his children. Right? And he can't feed your children. I'm telling you, man. Choices. It was your choice. It was your choice to go and extort that man. It was your choice to do multiple killings in your community to why no business can be successful in your community, to give you a job because you want to be a gangster. You want to be a killer. You want to be a puppet for the area leader. It was your choice, bro. They keep hitting the Chinese, but they don't report it. They keep their money in boxes. They are getting it, getting hit. All right, Awa. I hear you, brother. I don't know what to tell y'all. It's time for y'all to wake up. It really is. Like I said, man, everything comes around full circle. Full circle. So don't let no man come in. When a man tells you that he's standing on his square, that means he's full circle. Because a square is a circle. When you do the measurements of a square and you measure the angles and you do the math, it comes out to be the mathematical equation of a circle. You understand? So you hear the Masons talk about I'm standing on my square. Don't let them throw you off. Don't let them throw you off. Start securing your families. That's where it starts. When your family's secure, you go outside of that circle and you start helping others. If your family don't want to help, then you go outside of that circle and you start helping others. You understand? Like, for real. Wake up. Kanye wasn't lying in that clip of what he said. Kanye wasn't lying in this message of what he tweeted either. Let's see if we can find it. Black people in America are Aboriginal, indigenous to this land. The original slaves, Slavs, were Europeans. Facts. Now, folks who they call black folks were original Europeans. They were enslaving each other. They were doing that. They're still doing it to this very day. Nigerians are selling slaves to Libya. Nigerians are selling heroin, the drugs, into Liberia today. For you pro-blacks. Since y'all like to talk about your Nigerian brothers and sisters. Ask them why they selling slaves and they selling drugs into Liberia. And where they're selling drugs into and filling it with drugs are the colonies that they took our people from here and set up over there. To those people. You understand? To those people. Liberia and Sierra Leone and stuff. You got to wake up. You live, you learn, and every day I learn something new. If you go a day and you don't learn something new, that's not progress. That's right, brother. See, Brother Award said it. Slavery is a choice. Do not consent. The more folks that rebel against this fraudulent system, it's the better it's going to start getting for our people. You're going to have to start putting them on blast every chance you get. You're going to have to start calling them out every chance you get. You're going to have to start recording every conversation you have with these folks. If you go even to a dealership and they say, yeah, well, we need your social security card. You know, social security cards, to give out your social security number, it's illegal. And if you read the back of the social security card, it tells you that it's not your card. You go to the bank and they say they need your social, but they say, you tell them that it's against the law. And they say, well, it's their policy. Their policy don't supersede law. Do you understand? You have to start recording them and putting them on blast and putting out the names of these banks and all of them that's doing that, especially when you go in there as an American Aborigine, because they're violating international and American laws. They're violating the 68 Civil Rights Act. So many laws they're violating. Got to start doing it. Got to start showing them up for who they are. See, because no one is doing these things. This is why they feel like they can still continue doing it and get away with it, because no one is putting it out there that these folks are still doing it. No one has tried them. You understand? No one. And they know this. They know all of this that I'm speaking. They know all of this because they're trained on. Their supervisors are trained on this. It is their choice to continue with the sham. The supervisors, it's their choice. Because their interest is for the corporation, because they're working for the corporation. Their interest is not for you, even though they know it's against the law. You understand? So people, you're gonna have to wake up. You're gonna have to wake up. Understand? When you step outside your doors, always have a recorder on you. Always have a recorder on you. When you're going into these establishments, dealing with these people, record everything. Record everything. If you don't start doing that, you're going to be trampled over on. When they call you black and African American, that's slander. Sue the shit out of them. You have a problem with a company, you go to, and let me tell you something else that these banks are doing, because I know from personal experience, because me and Brother Dynasty went down to go open up accounts, right? And Brother Dynasty has 2 accounts without using his Social Security. When we said, let's try these branches out in the area to where I'm at. And we went there, and when they were hit with what the things that we went there with, they said, oh, they're going to call their head office. They don't call their head office. They call another branch, another bank, and act like it's the head office. And they're so on code with each other that they'll let you hear the conversation of the other branch saying, no, we can't do that. We understand this law, but the bank policies and so on and so on and so. No. When you're going down to these establishments, have the head office number on you. So when they say, well, let me call my supervisor, you say, well, let me call the head office and put it in speakerphone for you. Chop the head off the snake right there on the spot. Don't give the snake the choice of who the hell they're supposed to call. You call the head office right there on the spot. Their corporate office, their mother office. Like if you got a problem with YouTube, you go to the Alphabet company. You got a problem with Google, you go to the Alphabet company. No longer go through YouTube and Google, because they're going to give you the runaround. So you got to go to their mother. So their mother could put them in their place, right? That analogy came from Brother Dynasty. That's where you got to go. That's the only way these people are going to start respecting you. Without you, they can't exist. If every Aborigine, every American, right, who they call black people, said F YouTube right now, how far would their ratings plummet? We are majority. We are majority. So the majority of the people say F YouTube. There's no more YouTube. You have the power. The power is in you. You're the power. You're the source. You're the source. They can't exist without you. There you go. Like Brother Award said, the law supersedes all policies. So their policies don't mean shit when it comes to the law. And that's where you have to start calling their head office and let them know you're going to sue the shit out of them. You're going to take them to court for all sorts of things, or everything. Study and research everything before you go down to these things so you know what to tell them you're going to sue them with, because you already know what they're going to come with. You already know what they're going to come with beforehand. Everything in life is a choice, family. Everything in life. Right? Yep. Ignorance is no excuse for law. Their ignorance shall be your ching ching, right? If you guys want that fiat dollar, right? That imaginary money. You have so much power at hand, you don't even know it. Because a lot of y'all choose not to know it. So much power. So much power. Right? Right at your fingertips. All you got to do is just stop volunteering in their system. Stop. Be free. Be free. You want to go plant a tree in your backyard? You wait, I got to go down to City Hall to see if I could plant this tree. Really? Really? How does that look? Huh? I gotta you worked hard for your money and bought a vehicle to have the right to travel on the road, and damn, my driver's license just expired. I can't drive. I gotta go down to the DMV and give them some more money. Huh? I gotta go down to the DMV and give them some more money so I could be able to move your property, to move your vehicle. Really? You need permission from the DMV, and the DMV that tells you that they have nothing to do with your government. In what world does this work? It was your choice to give them that power over you. Take it back. Now I believe in license plates, y'all. You know what I mean? Because if you hit me, I want to be able to see the number of the vehicle that hit me, so I know who to go back to. But everything else is bull. It's bull. You know, there were laws. There were laws, because you see what these police officers do. A lot of them is false accusations. They falsely accuse you of stuff, and they know it. They know what they're doing is illegal, but it's illegal, but it's not unlawful. The reason why it's not unlawful because you don't say anything, you don't contest it. The reason why it's not unlawful because you put yourself into the jurisdiction of the corporation which they work for. So if the corporation only adheres to blacks and African Americans, and their job is to keep blacks and African Americans in check for the corporation, then you're underneath the corporate rule. So if they stop you stop you in your vehicle and pull you over, as a black and an African American person, they're in that right every single time. But if you are back into your ancestral status as an American Indian, they're wrong every single time. You see how it works? Now, if learning this information, you still go every day. You don't have to call yourself black or you don't have to call yourself an American Indian. Even if you're a person of a different ancestry from the other side of the world. Once you're not identifying as a corporate construct, they have no power over you unless you've done harm to someone or someone's property. Only time. That's the only time. They can't tell you can't fly on a plane. They can't tell you none of that stuff. But you give them that power. Well, they said if you don't have this passport and this green card, and if you didn't put that you were this on the passport application or the green card application that you were this, if you didn't put that you were that, which is forced assimilation, then you can't travel. Who are they to tell you you can't travel? Huh? Their airports is on your land. They tell you you can't travel. You tell them your airport can operate on my land. God damn it. Shut down the airports. Shut it down. But it's a choice to be or not to be. That is the question. What do you want to be? You want to be a mental slave, which when in return will be a physical slave, which in return will be property. Do you want to be that or do you not want to be that? It's up to you. Right? It's up to you. Lost descendants of who? Of Quayban 11. I can't speak for you, Quayban 11, but I know I'm American Indian. I know my roots. There you go. You see, Ahua just put it right there in the chat. He's putting it right there in the chat for y'all. Snickers cheaters is trolling. And let them troll. Even a troll could get a seed planted. Oh, okay, Quaybine. Okay. Quaybine. All right. You know, have critical gate. What? Yeah, they're gonna troll. You know, that's them. That's those YouTube or Google staffers allegedly, right? But we got something for them coming real soon, right? But that's them. If it ain't them, that's them pro-blacks, right? And they control. That's fine. That's fine. Just don't give them the energy. Don't give them the energy. That's what we got the block buttons for and the delete buttons for. We don't gotta say nothing to them. Plain and simple. KCM beats my grandma has been brainwashed. Do your genealogy then. Do your genealogy. You know, go back more than 4 or 5 generations. You know you from here. If your records is missing and you can't find them, you know you're from here because they were burning records. They were burning records. They were burning records. Real recognize real. They were burning the records to hide who you are. So let me show you how you know who you are. Those who are in the islands, they don't even put an ethnic group no more on your documentations or your birth certificates for a lot of them. If you have a green card from like 2-3 years ago, there's no ethnicity on there. It doesn't say black. It doesn't say none of that stuff on there. You understand? On your birth certificate, it doesn't say none of that stuff on there. If you dig into your great-grandparents or even your grandparents, then you're going to see Negro, or you'll see I think Negro colored will be on there, right? folks who are on the continent, your stuff, they'll mark you as Black, African American, Negro. You understand? On your documentations. That's what they'll mark you as. An African-born child on the American continent is an African. And their documentation will show them as an African because their parents will make sure that they get their dual citizenship from Africa to seal in who they are. And a lot of them come here with their government. So they get their documentations done right. You don't get that because this is your land. And the whole plot is to keep you away from knowing this is your land because this place has so much resources which they are destroying. They're destroying it. Anyway, with that being said, about to get out of here. Say, you know, peace, love, light. Light means knowledge, people. Light means knowledge. Oh, there's something I wanted to show y'all, right? If I could find it. If I could find it, family. If I could find it. Something that was very interesting. Get off this moron right here. He's a moron. It's not it. I want to break this down fully to y'all so y'all can get a real good understanding of this. Let me see if it will come up. This. And again, I'm going to show you guys something. Right? You see the sun? The sun is feminine. The moon is masculine. What you are looking at the domination of a matriarch. Right? This is why they have the sword here. Right? And the sword is also bent in the form of your widow's peak. So the moon is the widow's son. For the sun is the matriarch. And the matriarch who has no husband, right? She's a widow. The moon is the widow's son. The son betrayed the mother. When the son betrayed the mother, the sons took over to dominate the mother to create a patriarchal system. Okay? This is what this is. Our people always had the moon up the other way and the sun on top. The folks who invaded flipped it on us. You understand? Our ancestors. And it wasn't a secret society thing. It wasn't a Shriners thing. It wasn't none of that. In some cases, you'll see this. You'll see the moon right here and the sun inside of the moon right here, right? Which will be, this will be on the side and this will be right in it. Like how you see this symbol. Let me click on this. Like how you see this right here. Okay? And this is what you see some Muslims, how some Muslims will have it here. Right? The sun, no time at all should the son be covering his mother. The mother should always be covering the son because a mother's light always shine up on her son. She's the nurturer of her son. She gave life to her son. It is the womb of her which her son comes from, right? So, the widow's son. Y'all see this? This is all these things are. The conquering of the matriarch. Now, when I say matriarch, because folks out there always get this misconstrued also as well. Folks be getting this messed up. So when I say the matriarch, a matriarch is the balance. Woman gave birth to man and woman. Woman is the first teacher of man. Your mother is your first teacher from you are within the womb of your mother. The first emotions that you feel comes from your mother because you are still connected to her within the womb. So what she goes through, you go through. If she is stressed, you are stressed within the womb. Do you understand? If she is balanced, you are balanced. The matriarch is balance. It is not saying the woman rules and dominates over the male, or the male rules and dominates over the female. It is because the woman brings balance. Do you understand? She teaches the male, the first teacher of her son. It's balance. That's what it is. All right. Anyway, with that being said, peace and love to you all. Also, probably within the week, I'm going to break down the whole Thanos also for you guys as well. All right. And we're going to get into Thanos, from the last movie that they just dropped about Thanos and the Avengers as well. All right. So we're going to get into that as well. So with that being said, I say peace, love, light. Light means knowledge to you all. And have a safe and prosperous weekend, y'all. All right. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here as often as I was anymore. Okay. Is things that we have to do and things that we need to do to also get done as well. All right. And I got to get my mind right also as well. But anyway, peace and love and light to you all. And enjoy y'all weekend. Take your sons and your daughters out. Single mothers, single fathers, both parents, wives, husbands. Have a family weekend, a family day. Yo, at least once a month, have a family night, yo. Every other month, have a weekend, a family weekend. At least. I have to do that, y'all. All right. Get back in tune with each other. Peace.